In today's session, we will be discussing how we can use anchor tags. There is a tag called as anchor, a tag, which can be used to define links in my web page. Okay, so how it can be done, and also along with this, how we can include images in a web document, so that we are going to discuss. And also, if time permits, we will discuss what how we can use table tag to create tables in web pages. Okay, so first let us begin with HTML links. So most of the web pages are containing what hypertext. Already we discussed what you mean by hypertext and how we can provide hyperlinks for the text in MS Word document. But in in HTML pages, what happens? We are not using what any hyperlink option here. But instead of that, what we need to do, we are using what anchor tag. There is a tag called as a tag, which is called as anchor tag. By using this anchor tag, we can specify what hyperlinks for the text or for the images on the web page. When we click on that particular hypertext or images, then it will directly jump to some other web document which I want to follow. For example, now let us see how we can what implement anchor tag. So the syntax is very simple here. What we need to do, we need to use opening tag of a, and also we need to write what a closing tag of a. That is nothing but this is opening tag of anchor tag, and this is a closing tag for anchor tag. So in between, so here I can specify what any text for which I want to include hyperlink, and also how to provide hyperlink reference. To provide hyper reference, we are using what href attribute. As you can see here, I am using href attribute here is equal to, this is nothing but the URL. Assume that I want to set reference here. So what I need to do, I need to copy that address URL and I need to paste in this particular URL value, so that my when I click on this particular link or text, it will redirect me to this particular URL. So that is how the anchor tag is going to work. For example, you can see here, I'm going to just create one sample web document here. And if you observe here, I'm going to use anchor tag within a body section, and I'm going to use what h reference attribute to provide what one sample URL here. So if you observe, I'm going to include google.com homepage of your web URL here, and the text I want to create is what search Google. So for this particular text, I want to provide what hyperlink for this particular text. So at that time, what I need to do, I need to include this particular text within anchor tag. And to specify the web URL, we need to use what h reference attribute here, and we need to specify the URL value in this particular position, so that it will create what hyperlink for this particular text. Let us see a quick demonstration how we can implement HTML links by using anchor tag. Okay, so now what I will do, I will go to desktop here, and what I need to do, I need to create what normal text document here. So let me open this text document. So here already I have placed what some of the content here. So basic tags I have implemented, like HTML tag, header tag. Within this header tag, title tag I have implemented, and within this title I want to specify the value as. So now let me specify what anchor tag demo. So this is what the title I want to implement. So within a body section, so now let me include one normal text here. Say for example, I'm going to include what search Google. Okay, so for this particular text, now I want to provide a hyper reference. Okay, so now let me save this. Still now I am not implementing what I'm not implementing what any anchor tag here. So this is what a search Google, this becomes what a normal text in the web page. Let us save this by using a save as option. Let me save this one on desktop with a file name called as a tag demo, a tag demo.html. So this is very important. How to save the file? Within a double quotation, I need to specify the file name and I need to use a .html extension to save my file as HTML file. So after this, what I need to do, I need to click on save button here so that it will save my web page. Again, go to desktop here, look at this. It has created a file called as a tag demo here. So this is what the file what we have created now. So now what I will do, I will just double click on this. You can see it is showing what Chrome HTML document. So now I'm going to double click on this. Obviously it has to open what web page now. So wherein which we have included in a body section, that is search Google. Okay. So now you can see this is what my HTML code. So my HTML code has been executed successfully, and you can observe here in the title, whatever the title I have included. Let me open the source code here. You can observe in the title section what I have included. I have included anchor tag demo. You can observe here the title is, it is showing what anchor tag demo. And also in the body section, I have placed just one element called as a search Google. So that's why we are getting what search Google in a body section. Okay. So now I want to specify what hyper link for this particular text. So now what I need to do, I need to include anchor tag here. Look at this. Now how I'm going to implement anchor tag. So within angle bracket, I need to specify what anchor tag opening, and at last I need to specify anchor tag closing tag, anchor tag. So you can see here, this is the opening tag of anchor and this is the closing tag of anchor. So here in between, I'm going to place what some particular text. Okay. So now here I'm going to specify what a search Google now. So I want to specify a hyperlink for this particular text. Okay. So now let me save this. Okay. Again, go to web document here and reload this. Okay. So now I'm going to reload, but you cannot see any major difference here because still now what we have specified, we just specified what anchor tag, but still now I have not specified the hyper reference now. So to specify hyper reference, what we need to do in angle bracket, just I need to use href attribute. So this is what hyper reference attribute is equal to. So within a double quotation, I need to specify the URL here. So assume that. So here I'm going to search for google.com and you can see this is the Google homepage URL. So now what I will do, I will simply copy this URL from address bar. Let me right click on this, click copy here and let me close this and go to source code here. And here what I will do in the href section, I will paste that particular URL. As you can observe here, when I paste that particular URL, you can see this is nothing but the address, web address for google.com. So now what I need to do, I need to save this once again. Let me save this and go to web document here and reload this particular page. So when I reload, you can observe hyperlink has been created on that particular text. So now if I move a cursor on it, you can observe my cursor appearance got changed now. It is showing a hand cursor now. So that is indicating what this particular text is having what hyper reference. So and even you can observe at the bottom section here, it is showing what web address. So when I move a cursor on it, you can see it is showing the web address. for which it is going to refer. So when I click on this, it will redirect me to google.com homepage like this. So click back here, click once again on this particular text. It is going to redirect me for google.com. So this is how we can implement what anchor tags so that we can redirect to some other web pages in my document. Okay, so similarly, I can include what YouTube link also. For example, let me include one break tag here, and after that, again, let me use a tag href is equal to, okay. So close this anchor tag, and here what I will do, I will write go to YouTube. Okay, so after this, close anchor tag now. So now what I will do by opening a web URL. So now here I will write what YouTube web URL, and just I'm going to copy this, close this, and in href value section, I'm going to just right click on that, and I'm going to paste this. You can observe. So now I have included what value for YouTube URL. Okay, for href attribute. So now again I'm going to save this and go to web document and reload this. Now you can see here we are having what two hyperlink text here. So this is nothing but a search Google, and this is what go to YouTube. So now when I click on go to YouTube, it will redirect me to YouTube homepage. Now you can see. So it has redirected me to YouTube homepage. So again, click back here, and when I click on search Google, it will redirect me to Google homepage. So likewise, we can include what hyperlink text by using what anchor tag. So now, sometimes what happens, we need to place several images in my web document. So in HTML, images are defined with a img tag. Img tag stands for what? Image tag, and this tag is empty tag, we can say, because this tag is not having a separate starting tag and closing tag. So the same tag opens there itself and it closes there itself. So that's why it is not going to contain any content in between. So that's why it is called as what? Empty tag. So here how we are going to specify the source of the image by using src attribute. We can specify the address of the image to img tag. So for example, let me show you the syntax. You can observe here the img tag is opening here itself, and within a line it is going to close. So that's why it is also called as empty tag. Why? Because it is not going to have any content in between. So in a paragraph tag, what happens? We are going to use a paragraph tag like this, and here we are going to write some content in between, and we are going to close this paragraph tag like this. Okay, so this kind of a tag is called as what? Content tag, because it is accepting what? Some content in between opening tag, right, and closing tag. But here what is happening? We are opening img tag here itself, and here itself it is going to close. It is nowhere accepting the content in between. So that's why it is called as empty tag, and these kind of tags are also called as inline tags. Okay, so now let me show you how we can specify the source of the image. So suppose I want to include what image in my web document. At that time I need to use what img tag. Along with the img tag, we need to use what? src attribute, as we are using here, src attribute, to specify the source of the image, where actually my image source is available, and I need to specify the value of the image as URL. Assume that I'm going to place what image in C drive, and I'm going to fetch that image from C drive. So at that time, I need to specify the entire path of the image. So that URL I need to specify here. Okay, and we can even use what ALT tag to specify the alternative name of the image. So when I move cursor on it, it has to display this particular text as a tooltip. Okay, so for that purpose, what I need to do, I need to use ALT tag, and some text is the value that we can set for what ALT tag. Okay, so let me show you with an example. So assume that this is the normal HTML code we have implemented, but in body section, as you can observe here in a body section, okay. So in a body section, you can see here, I'm going to use img tag. Okay, along with the img tag, what I said, I can use a src attribute, and this is the URL for the image. And ALT attribute and HTML5 icon is nothing but the image. Similarly, we can set the width and height of the image by using the width attribute and height attribute, and even we can specify the point values for the image. So how many points it has to increase the width and height, that we can specify here. So let us see by including one sample image in my web document. Okay, so already I have opened what source code. Let us include one image here itself. Okay, so now I'm going to include what? One break line. Okay, so below this, I want to include what? One page. I mean, one image, sorry. So if you observe this, this is the web document. After this, here I'm going to include what? One image here. Okay, so for that purpose, I need one image file here. Let me quickly go to my my computer. Let me browse through some images here. Assume that, let me consider from third sem itself. Go to images. Assume that now I want to include what? This one. I'm going to include what? This particular image. Okay. So now what I need to do, I will just copy this and I will paste here on desktop. Okay, you can see here the image name is what? Index.jpg. Okay, so the file format is what? JPG. So let us go through the properties to see the type of the file. As you can see here, it is showing me JPG. Okay, so now go to source code now. So now I'm going to include what? One image here. So for that, I need to use img tag. I need to specify what? src is equal to. So now the file name is index. As you can see here, let me close this. Okay, so go to desktop. As you can see here, the file name is, it is showing is index. Okay, the same file name I need to specify. And you can also observe that this is the file, HTML file, where my HTML file is there. In the same path, I am having what? My image file also. In this case, no need to specify the full path now. Hope you are getting what I'm saying. So wherever actually my HTML page is available, in the same location, we are having what? In the same location, we are having what? One image file also. At this particular moment of a time, no need to specify full file path of the image. So directly we can specify the name of the image, and with the extension we need to specify. That's it. So now that's why I'm including what? Index.jpg, because the file type is what? JPG. So now close this URL and image tag as well. Okay, so now let me save this, go to web document, and now I'm going to reload this page. When I reload, you can observe that particular image got appeared in my web page. Okay, and also suppose when I move cursor on it, it has to display what this image is. Okay, so at that time what I can use, I can specify here ALT tag, sorry, ALT attribute, and I can specify the alternative name for the image. So here I'm going to highlight what web browsers, web browsers as the alternative name. So now let me save this, again go to HTML document, reload this page, and now when I move cursor on it, actually it should display what one tooltip, where in which it has to highlight what this particular name, that is alternative name what we have provided, but in this case it is not showing. I don't know what might be the problem. Okay, so similarly we can set what height of the image by using the height attribute, and here within double quotation we need to specify the height as 100. Okay, so similarly we can specify the width of the image, and we can specify the width in terms of points here. So now let me save this, and again if I reload this, you can see here now it is what adjusted the image's height and width according to what the size what we have specified here. So similarly I can increase the size here like 300, and width also 300. So now the image size should increase now, as you can see here. So this is how it is going to work. Okay, so hope you have understood how we can include what image tag, and how to include anchor tag to specify the hyperreference.